Ladies and gentlemen, there's a new information on ground. The Minister of Education, Tahim Aman, said, from this next year, we want until 2025, if you never reach 18 years, you don't go feel right jamb. All of una wey dey write jamb at 16, 15, federal government is stopping it. In fact, if you never reach 17, you cannot write WAEC. They will not admit you. They will not register you to write WAEC. And if you are not 18, you cannot get admission into the university. Now that one and the cost courses. He don't ever bring this gist last year, around July, if I'm not mistaken. Was it last year or this year? Yeah, last year, around July, don't ever bring this gist. But they can't decide, say, let them hold on. Let them prepare parents. Make parents, they know. May not be like, say, they just hit them by surprise. But then, whether you agree with it or not, let me show you his explanation. When he's done, I'll come back up, break him down. Then let's see if we will agree.
Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us. Let's continue now with our conversation with Professor Tahim Aman, the Minister of Education. And our closing moment now. You've talked about your DOTS policy and hoping that all of these translate dramatically in changing the scenario of the perception of Nigerian university, the quality of education, the output and the quality of research, and how it affects our society, and of course, eventually, leaving no one behind. Because those children who are less privileged and those who are privileged, nobody should be left behind in attaining an educationally an education that anyone wants. But the issue of minimum age required to enter Nigerian universities. What exactly is the status now? Is it 18 or 16 years?
Well, nothing has changed, Sheon. It is 18. What we did at the meeting that we had with JAM was to allow this year and for it to serve as a kind of notice for parents that, look, this year, yes, JAM will admit students who are below that age. But from next year, JAM is going to insist that anybody going to apply to go to University in Nigeria meets the required age, which is 18. And for the avoidance of doubt, this is not a new policy. This is a policy that has been there for a long time. And even basically, if you compute the number of years learners are supposed to be in school, the number you end up with is 17 and a half. From early child care to primary school, then junior secondary school, and then the senior secondary school. You will end up with 17 and a half. And by the time they are ready, the school year is ready for admission, you have that's the age that they will be ready for admission. So we are not actually coming up with new policy contrary to what some people are saying. We are just simply reminding people of what is existing. And in any case, NECO and WAEC henceforth will not be allowing underage children to write their examinations. In other words, if somebody has not spent the requisite number of years, in that particular level of study, WAEC and NECO will not allow them to write the examinations.
What is the minimum age to write those examinations in Nigeria?
It's not a matter of age. It's actually the years spent at each level of education.
So one imagine that there are stages of education in Nigeria.
Yes.
There is the primary education, which
even
is
before
6
that,
years.
early care.
5
years, yeah.
5 years.
5 years.
You entered primary one at
6. Yes.
Yeah. You're supposed to spend 6 years.
6 years there.
In primary school.
Exactly.
As at 12, you are expected to graduate if you are not a repeater of any of the class.
That's right.
Then you move at 12 to JSS1.
Which is 3 years again.
Which is 3 years.
Yeah.
So at 15, you're expected to move to the senior secondary class.
3 years.
3 years.
Yes.
So at 18, you are expected to graduate.
That's right. I'm ready for university.
So when we imagine that there are smart students.
Yes.
It means that no matter how smart you are, you must confine to those ages? I mean, to the minimum age requirement, isn't it?
At the moment, this is what we have, but it's very legitimate to appeal to look at that window and say, okay, how do we cater for our smart children? And this is a conversation for another day. Well, other countries too, they do similar. They have their age, specifications for each level of education. But again, they look at the possibility of smart children. But, a lot of times in our own country, what sometimes is a window eventually becomes the door. So it's a conversation for another.
So, look at it properly before you choose side. If you born pikin, the first 6 months, you use until they feed the pikin. When the pikin complete 1 year, it's just the learner to waka. You go spend another 1 year with una for house before you go start school. So the child is likely to start school at the age of 2. At 2 years, this child will start what they call play group. You go do play group for 1 year. It's not 3 years. You go come do what they call kindergarten. For another 1 year, the child is now 4 years. You go come enter nursery 1. Nursery 1, 2, 3 will take 3 years. That is 7 years. Right? Abi, how many we can just now? Now we go enter primary 1. Primary 1 to 6 we take another 6 years. Plus 7 years we did before that 13 years. You go come enter GS1. GS1 to SS3 we take another 6 years. Plus the 13 years before that is 19 years. The best that you can get is to say, okay, the pikin no start school at 2. The pikin start school at 1. Which means the pikin go finish secondary school at the age of 18. So how come some children, they enter university at 15? When you are supposed to finish your education cycle at the age of 18. That is if you started at 1 year old. I will tell you what happened. Some parents, because they don't want to pay school fee, go make sure say their pikin take junior primary 6 exam for primary 5. So the pikin no go do primary 6. You go call jump, go GS1. Then the pikin go call GS1, GS2. They go make sure say the pikin no do GS3. You go call jump, go SS1. Then the pikin go call do SS1, SS2. You go call YYX from SS2. Now make some children, they get YYX result at 14 and 15. Even though they are not of the age to get there. Example, now me. The only theory when I do for my life na KG3 and SS3. I not do GS3, I not do primary 6. I jumped. Now I was a very brilliant student in school, right? But even as brilliant as I was, it affected me. Because what they taught us in primary 6, I not did that class to learn how. I just jumped go GS1. So when my mates in GS1 were catching up, I couldn't catch up. What they taught students in GS3, I was not there to learn it. I jumped go SS1. It became a struggle for me till today. I don't know physics. Till today. Because my intro tech teacher for GS1, I know who like her. Things I supposed to learn for primary 6, I don't learn them. And I studied engineering. Now strong high. I take to engineering physics strong high. Till today, I have the problem. So students suffer from this thing. Now when you go enter university, at the age of 15, 16, especially the female students, they are very vulnerable. They are not mature enough to be in the university at that age. If you went to a Nigerian university, you know what I'm talking about. Why the rush? Why are we rushing? Okay, even if your pikin finish secondary school at 16, let her or him go and learn a skill. Use that 2 years to learn a skill. Then you go enter university. Because all this rush, where they rush, you go find work where you graduate and it go keep you for us again. For another 2 years. Jamb go fair hold you. for like 2 years. If jamb no hold you, job hunting will hold you for 2 years because you are coming out from the university, you have no skill. Most times, even the university you go, they don't teach you anything. You are unemployable. But if you have learned a skill with like 2 years at home before you enter university, it will not be skill plus result. It will make things easy for you. The Ministry of Education is just trying to structure this thing, and I agree with them. Everybody just dey use jugu for the country just the way they like. Some parents don't just want pay school fees, just they jump their children. So, in my opinion, the Minister of Education is making a good move. For next year, if you know you are lesser than 18, you cannot write jamb.